ode to be an unusually red hot dog gently rolling beneath the light in nowhere, Nebraska. But actually, I am in nowhere. It's the name of this gas station called Nowhere in Nebraska. Thankfully, they have a hot dog club, though. And apparently, if you buy 5, you get 1 free. So for anyone who's in the mood for 6 hot dogs, this place is for you. This is aggressively American. Nowhere also inexplicably has slot machines, gambling, and hot dogs. What more could you possibly want? I decided against eating the red wieners because I brought some leftover rice and chicken. Let me tell you though, rice is not road trip food. My stomach expanded in pain for the next 100 miles. The hotel in Lincoln was surprisingly nice. The concierge asked me if I was there for work or leisure. I told them leisure and she was pleased about that, saying how surprised she was. Nobody comes to Lincoln for leisure anymore. Surprised. Well, I was surprised to see advertised a place called Boys Town. Now, usually Boys Town means a gay neighborhood, like in West Hollywood or Chicago. But in Nebraska, it meant a compound that a pastor opened in 1917 to house boys. Apparently, it still exists today. Sus. Checked out this coffee shop that was definitely queer-friendly, though I don't think it was queer-owned. That's one of the best places that you can find when traveling to a city that you know nothing about. Usually the coffee shops are really comfortable and queer-friendly because they're typically artsy, and where there's art, there's queer people. I made my way to Lincoln Memorial Cemetery where Brandon Teena was buried. Brandon's story is also what the movie Boys Don't Cry was based off of. I used to imagine Lincoln based on the graphically violent true crime book. It detailed how Brandon was a 21-year-old trans man who was raped and murdered. As you can expect, the book made me think that Nebraska was a dark, violent place, much like how I viewed Laramie for Matthew Shepard's death before I visited. But like Laramie, and as you can see, Nebraska is definitely not defined by its tragedy. Brandon's dead name is on his plot, but I was happy to see how many people made the pilgrimage to pay their respects and corrected the plot with the proper names and pronouns. My visit was emotional and a very long time coming. One of my favorite things about my travels is being able to honor a queer family, and I'm grateful that I got some time with Brandon. Next, I headed over to the downtown area of Lincoln to see the progress of the queer community. There's only one queer bar in the city, and it's fairly new, opening in 2024. If you're in the area, go support the lesbian-owned bar Dame so we can have successful queer spots. I drove an hour away to Omaha, the next major city. I came up with a new idea because some states have significantly less queer things to check out than others. So I decided to go to the University of Nebraska because I knew that they had LGBTQ+ archives. I figured I could not only visit the queer present, but also see what was preserved in Nebraska's queer past, if anything at all. Similar to coffee shops, universities are the best places to visit when traveling to unfamiliar cities. Nobody questions what you're doing there, there's plenty of areas to relax, there's food, and it's typically safe. So if you're ever overwhelmed with traveling or don't know where to start in a city, the university is a great spot. Also, universities are usually queer-friendly. Funny how where there's art or education, there's a more queer environment. I wonder why. University archives are usually open to the public. Some schools take walk-ins while others require appointments. They usually have names and types of archives on their website, and you just tell them which boxes you want to look at. This was technically my first time actually viewing archives. I tried to walk into the LGBTQ plus archives in Los Angeles a year ago, but had a terrible experience where the staff was rude, parking was horrid, and I was never able to access the archives because I was required to have an appointment. But here in Omaha, Abby is my archivist, and she has gone above and beyond to help me navigate the boxes. I can't thank her enough for being so patient. The first box was dedicated to a local band called Lavender Couch. It had original posters, song lyrics, contracts, and pictures. I wondered what made something worthy of being preserved in archives. Looking at them showed me that it was anything that showed our history. Since so much of queer history gets erased, it's important for us to remember it through these archives. It was so special to see that there was plenty of queer history in Nebraska, which is a state that most people probably wouldn't think of when they think of queer community and culture. This really shows the importance of the archives because not a lot of people are talking about this queer history, and it's so nice to be able to go and see it. To go slow. Smell like cigarettes and tradition, yeah. I've never seen anyone with so much ambition, yeah. Well, you're on fast forward and you can't slow down. I came across a box of pictures that was really special, and I got emotional looking at them. It wasn't any one specific event, but a box full of pictures of queer people in Nebraska in the 90s. The reason why these got to me so much was because it was a simple glimpse into the life of queer people. One picture in particular made me tear up. This one made me think how the media and religion and bigotry paints queer people to be some kind of monsters. But looking at this photo just shows a bunch of gays sitting around a table having dinner together. It's the most unremarkable picture in some ways because it's just people eating and enjoying time together. But then again, it's special in another way because it's showing casual queer joy. It's so important that our community recognizes the tragic events like the murder of Brandon Teena, but it's equally important to remember and preserve the queer joy too. I'm so happy this photo made it into the archives where it will live forever. So I asked Abby for a big favor. I asked her if she could include anything from the archives that most people wouldn't know to even look at, or something that she thought was personally special. That's when she brought out this crazy bedazzled brick, which was a piece from a local bar that closed down decades ago. Really, anything can be preserved in archives. It doesn't have to just be paperwork. So it was really cool seeing that a brick is in the queer archives. Most archives can be viewed online through the library's website, so I don't think you have to travel to Omaha, Nebraska, or the States to see the archives. My last stop was an area of Omaha full of shops, including this bookstore. It wasn't particularly queer, but they did have an LGBTQ plus section that was quite comical. Now I have a man's survival guide to learn how to be safe because apparently manhood is a lost art. So to celebrate my revived manhood, I ended my trip at a restaurant with King of the Hill art. That's my purse! I don't know you! And massive chicken sandwiches. If you're enjoying these videos or if you want to see more unusually red Midwest hot dogs, please like and subscribe to the Queer Across America page and join my Patreon, where I have exclusive videos, my book The Downtown Underground, and a Discord group.